The funding for this video is provided by the amazing members of my Patreon. Also contributions from viewers like you. Thank you. Yeah, I started from PBS Kids. What you gonna do? Fight me? Anyway, roll the video. Okay, I said I was bored, so I'm gonna ruin lunch today. I'm not even gonna do my intro because I need to make a brief disclaimer before I go into any details, because I don't want nobody speculating me. I'm pretty sure that this person I'm speaking about don't even know about my existence anymore. I'm pretty sure that she don't know what I even have a channel. I don't even, like I said, she didn't even bother to learn my name. Y'all are gonna learn about that later. But I am not gonna say nobody's names. I ain't gonna say the production that this was on. None of that. I'm keeping it quiet. But I have so many stories from set. And if you guys are familiar with my book, not One Ruined Your Childhood, You're Not Crucial. Oh Jesus, that book right there, you guys should check it out if you guys want to know what it's about my experiences working on an extra in like multiple different projects. Check that out if you guys are interested. It is in a physical copy that's currently sold out, but a digital copy and the audiobook are in stock. Hey y'all, it's Harriana and I'm back with another video. Hi, hello, how are you guys doing? My name is Harriana and welcome back to the pirate ship, also known as Harry Hook's pirate ship. I am the captain. You are not my first mate. I don't got no first mate because you want to know why. Bring your ear closer to the speaker so you can hear me clearly. Nobody's worthy of being the first mate, but hi, hello, how are you guys doing? My name is Harriana and I like to make content based off nostalgia and family and children's entertainment and all the issues that I find within those spaces. Now today's video is going to be a story time because I know y'all really been missing my story times, and I have been so stressed out lately with like school and like trying to get other things together going on in my life. Your girl kind of burnt out on doing full-on analysis videos at the moment. I may be back to it next week, but this week was a no-go. I'm focusing on me and my well-being at the moment. But this was just a random thought that I had gotten because I had posted a new blog post to my Patreon. Please subscribe to Patreon if you would like to read it. And I was basically just talking about the art of learning not to care. And this was a situation that I had mentioned in that article. Like I said, if you would like to read the Patreon down below. And I do want to go a little bit into more detail about that because as I mentioned that my book, You're Not Crucial, this situation is honestly one of the situations that made me not want to do extra work anymore whatsoever. So as I said, I'm not saying no names. I'm not saying the name of the production. Like I said, all these people out of my life now, I don't know none of them. May never ever see them again. I'm really hoping that nobody, I feel like people that used to work with me at this place know exactly who I'm talking about. So if you do, hey, okay, so let's go ahead and get started. I used to work on this television show and I was there for like a long time, like there quite often, there a while, and I was an extra, and extra work is just like something I was doing. It paid my bills, it got me on set. It was something that I really did enjoy doing. I did it for fun while I was just working on other things with school and my YouTube channel and all of that. So when a lot of shows like to have a core, they like to have a core group of extras that they would use all the time within the series or a movie. And explaining a core extra meaning that you're just there all the time. It's not no extra pay or anything like that. You're just there all the time simply because the purpose of a lot of extras in movies is that you're there to fill in the scene. You're there to, you know, create like the atmosphere. They keep the same people. Let's say that the series takes place in a school or it takes place like in a camp. You're gonna need the same people because you want to bring like that realism there that this is real life some way. Like it's TV, it's always gonna be fake. So I was a part of the core group of extras, and mind you that people on the crew start to pick up on who is who. They start to learn a lot of the extras' names. They start to say hi to them. They start to be a lot kinder, because oftentimes the crew really don't be fucking with the extras like that. And I understand it, because a lot of extras be very much unprofessional. But it was this one person that was just, she was an assistant director. She was an assistant director, which meant that honestly everyone is over you on set if you're an extra. She was the assistant director for the series. She was the second AD. Oh yeah, second. If y'all know film terminology, you'll understand what I'm speaking about. And honestly, I thought she was nice. She was very kind. I'd see the way she talk and interact with like a lot of the other extras, I'd say. But she was not very nice to me. And what took me out the most about this is because I noticed that she didn't treat a lot of other people the way she treated me. I think the way I looked may have had something to do with why she was just not really fucking with me. But at the end of the day, I had to learn that not everybody is obligated to like me. Not everyone has to like me. But you know that shit Calais said, where she was like, you don't have to love me, you don't have to like me, but you will respect me. Yeah, that's just kind of how I'm there. I'm just like, I respect you, you respect me. But she was, you know, higher up than me, so of course I need to respect her. And I was always kind to her. I was always just friendly to her. But she just was not fucking with me whatsoever. And it honestly had me very, like, emotional, because I noticed that she liked a lot of my work friends, but she just did not like me. And mind you, that one of these people that she like really liked a lot is somebody, I ain't friends with that girl no more whatsoever. But I noticed that this one particular friend, I would express to her talking about, oh, the AD doesn't like me. I don't understand. What did I do wrong? This and that and the third. And she'd be like, well, it doesn't matter because she likes me and she constantly pushes me in the front. So yeah, I'm not friends with it. Ooh, girl, don't even get me started on her. One of the worst friends I've ever had. But anyway, moving back to this woman right here, there would be scenes where I would get picked to, you know, be with a few other people. And mind you, there are days when it comes to extra work and just being on set, there are going to be days where there's more people on set than others. If there's a big scene, there's going to be more crew members and there's going to be more extras. If it's a smaller scene, there's going to be less crew members and there's going to be less extras. This was on a day where it was less people, so we had to come in there and do a small little scene. It was just like in the corner. They told us to go ahead and get dressed, so they were like, okay, we're gonna bring them to set. It was me and probably like 5 other people that they brought up in there. They didn't bring the other ones, and she like, we all came in and we were just sitting there and we were just like standing around waiting to get it done. And this was supposed to be like a super duper fun scene too. It was like a part of a party scene that we were supposed to continue filming like the next week. But I could feel like the uneasiness between me and her there, but she was all nice and friendly to everyone. And then she looked at me and she was like, oh, hi. And I was like, hi. I was nice. And mind you, she was calling all of the extras by their names, wasn't really calling me by my name. I think she asked me my name and I told her. She never called me that shit ever again, because this was in the middle of like the production's run. She called me that. She never said my name ever again. So I was just like, okay, it's whatever. So later on down the line, she's still kind of wishy-washy towards me. She's still kind of weird. She's still kind of nasty. But one thing I noticed in particular that she would often do to me is that she would put me in the back of scenes. Mind you, like I said, this is extra work, and I didn't care to have a speaking role on the show or whatnot. Like, there's just a lot of things that I'm like kind of nonchalant about. But, and like I said, it's just extra work. It's just like, you can't put it on your resume or nothing. It just gives you a nice little paycheck and be like, oh, that's me on TV moment. But it had me feeling some kind of way, because I noticed that she would personally separate me from like my work friends and put me like in the back with like a whole bunch of people that like I didn't really know and I didn't really fuck with like that. And I noticed one of my friends in particular, I love her to death. That's my girl right there. She actually brought me up in the front of the scene with her because she noticed that she was doing that shit to me. And that wasn't the first time she's done that. Sorry, I love my best friend. I'm so glad that she did that. That did make me feel better, but that was just like a rare occasion that had happened. So moving forward, later on down the line, she still wasn't necessarily nice to me. Still was like looking at me funny. It was just like I said, you don't have to love me, you don't have to like me, but you will respect me. It just like, I just couldn't understand why she didn't like me, but also at the same time, a lot of people don't really owe you an explanation to why they dislike you. But like, this is work, baby. This is work. And like I said, she didn't know me. I didn't really know her like that. I just knew she was the AD. I knew she was good at her job, and I was respectful to her about that. But it was just kind of getting a little harder for me to deal with this nastiness that she was giving to me, because I remember even one day I just kind, cool, collected, like I always am when I come to work. I can be a little loud sometimes, but I always know when to shut the fuck up. I noticed that I was just not really feeling well that day. My stomach was hurting. I was having like cramps and stuff like that. She was like doing like the usual nastiness that she would do to me, and I just kind of like stopped caring in that moment. And I was wrong for that. I was very unprofessional for doing that. I own up to the fact that I was wrong in the situation. But she like snapped on me, and she was like, you need to be quiet. You need to... And I was just like... Mind you, that's like, she constantly would get on to me about stuff that other people would do. And mind you, that I was somebody that was very well behaved on this set. There were a whole bunch of other people that would not have their shit together. There would be a lot of people constantly talking in the middle of scenes, constantly like not listening, not doing what they were supposed to do, and she seemed to really like them okay. But the one time I slipped up, she wanted to snap on me. And mind you, that's not the first time she's ever really told me to be quiet. Let's say that other people are in there talking and I'm just sitting there minding my business and just being quiet and waiting for the scene to roll. She would look over at me and tell me to be quiet, and I was just like, okay, I see how it is. I see how exactly how it is. So moving forward from that day, she was still very nasty to me, giving me nasty side eyes and whatnot. I really just think she didn't like the way I look, I'm gonna be honest. And usually people be acting like that towards you. Mind you, my hair was like all, you know, when I used to wear my hair out and not really like straight like this, it was all like kind of frizzy and whatnot, and I had my glasses. But I thought I was a cute little thing. I am a cute little munchkin, okay? I really just think she didn't like the way I look. But just because you don't like the way somebody look don't necessarily mean you should be rude to them. And it was a day where it was just really cold outside. We was freezing. And I noticed that she was still trying to do that thing where like she would like kind of put me in the back. But I was just like, no ma'am, I am getting up in the front. You not about to keep belittling me. I see you here all the time. You know I am one of the main ones. And mind you, now that I brought up that about being the main ones, I was at this studio every week. Like, I wasn't up here every day like some of these other people were. Like, mainly the people that were there every day were like the stand-ins and the photo doubles, and then like, you know, the other crew and then the cast members. A lot of the extras, a lot of us were there every day, but a lot of us were just there every other day or like once or twice a week. I was there every damn week. Sometimes I was there for like 3 days out of the week. Some days I was there for 2. Some days I was there for 1. I was there quite often. And mind you that I had been on this series a while. I was there during the first season when she wasn't the AD on it. So she said something so shady. She said something so shady to me, and I just still think back and I'm just like, did she really say this? Did she really say this shit? I can't there's certain details that I have to leave out because I don't want people figuring out what the show was or anything like that. There was a situation where there was a group of me, like we were like in, you know, how am I gonna say this without it being out there? But it was me and these people. They brought us in and they were like, okay, so y'all are the people that are going to be with this specific person because yeah, we're going to go ahead and get you guys placed and set up. And mind you, she looked at me, she looked at a whole bunch of the other people, and I told you that one girl that I ain't friends with no more, she went and picked her and then like a few of the other guys too just as well. And she was like, okay, so these are the ones that are going to be in the front of the scene and the rest of you guys are just going to be spread out through the back. And she was like, the reason why we picked them in the front is because they are the core group that are here all the time. You guys are just like day players or whatever. And I was just like, I don't day play on this show. You see me here all the fucking time. You literally saw me last week. You gave me that same nice nasty ass mug. You still called everybody by their name but me. Don't sit here and try to act like I'm brand new to this place, because I'm not. Like, you knew what you was doing, because I did look at her when she said that, and I was just like, you know what? You don't want to get fired. You need this job. You need the money. You are a broke college kid. Just keep it together. You're going to be okay. Just stick it through. You're gonna be fine. You're gonna be all right. So, moving forward from that day, I even mentioned something about this because I talked about it with my friends, and I was just like, I understand that she doesn't have to like me, but it really got me feeling some kind of way. How, like I said, you don't have to love me, you don't have to like me, but you will respect me. I was just like, it's just getting to the point where it's just being like rude. She's just being rude to me. She's just being like really disrespectful to me. So moving forward from there, there's another day where it's like only a little bit of us, like a few of us there, specific ones, whatever. There's only a few of us here. There's a lot of days because I've been there all the time. Like I said, that's how I knew she was lying when she tried to say something about me not being core. And I was like, you can literally go in that office right there. You can go in the extras casting office, and they literally have an entire wall on who are the core extras in here. My picture is up there, and it's been up there since season 1. So for you to sit here and try to say that I'm a brand new person when you look at me every day, not every day, but every week, and be rude, was not sitting with me well. So, as I mentioned that, it was another day where it was just a small group of us. And mind you, I often got called for small groups, okay? Usually you didn't get called for a small group, it's because they didn't know if they could trust you or whatnot. But I was pretty good. I was well behaved. I was pretty much quiet. I listened. Like I said, sometimes I could talk too much, but I will be quiet and I will listen and get the job done. There was another day where it was only a little bit of us. She looking at me funny. She like, But I noticed that I had to do something different in the scene, and I was a little bit more featured. Then she want to start being all a little nice to me now, since I was like featured and like the director was talking to me and telling me what to do and all of that. And I was just like, y'all know that Maddie meme when she was like, that's literally how I felt. So moving forward from there, the panoramic happened. So there was like a gap in between. The panoramic happened, and I did not get my job back until like later on. I did not get my job back until later on. And I noticed when I came back, I was on the phone with one of my friends because he was working on a television show. I was on the phone with him, and he was telling me about like certain things that was going on at the place and whatever. But he mentioned something about, he was like, oh, it's this one assistant director that I do not like. And I was like, boy, who you talking about? Who you talking about? What's her assistant director that you don't like? And then he said her name. And I was like, okay, so it's not just me. So it's not just me that she was acting that way towards. And I didn't know if she was acting like that towards other people, like back when I was there. But knowing that she started doing a lot of that shit later on down the line when I wasn't there, it was a little, okay. So I didn't feel better knowing that. I felt less alone knowing I wasn't the only one. So there's another thing that I did forget to mention that I need to go back to before, the panoramic happened. There was an entire situation with this one person. This person right here, I have my grievances with them. I have nothing against them no more, but it's just certain things about them. I was just like, why are you like this? Why the fuck are you like this? What is going on? What is your deal? It was this one person, and as I mentioned, that a lot of us that be there all the time, we're very nice. We're very welcoming to everybody that comes in, all the new people that come in and show their face and whatever. We were genuinely nice group of people. So it was this one person that came in, and I noticed that they were new, and I was like, oh, hey, hello, nice to meet you. They were like, hi, nice to meet you. I introduced them to myself, and I was telling them, it's fun to work here. We get to do this and that and the third. Like, just trying to like walk this person through, because this is their first time ever doing extra work. And I understand, like, you don't want to be me. You don't want to leave people hanging, because it can be a very confusing job at first. And I didn't have nobody to help me when I first started doing it. So I do try to help the other people that come in. So it wasn't even like a day. It wasn't even like a day. Like it was a day. It was the one day. It was like the next day. That girl was rude to me. Man, I was trying to keep the pronouns neutral, but I already said it. But that girl right there, she was rude to me. She was rude as hell to me. But I was still kind to her. I was still really, really nice to her. Because this is work. Keep it professional. Be cordial. But I noticed that, like, she would, like, be, like, this nice nastiness towards me. She'd be all nice and smiling in my face and then, like, smirk on the side. Like, give me, like, a nasty look on the side thinking I didn't see it. And I noticed one thing in particular is that she had unfollowed me on Instagram, because I was like, hey, I want to follow you. She had unfollowed me on Instagram, and I don't be taking unfollows seriously or nothing like that. She unfollowed me on Instagram, but I also noticed that she unadded me on Facebook when I was that one that got her ass in our Facebook group. So that was that, and I was just like, okay, I don't want no problems. It's obvious that this person don't like me. Like I said, you don't have to love me, you don't have to like me, but you will respect me. This girl was going all around causing other problems for other people. She was always talking shit about the other, like, extras. She was just annoying. She was just running her mouth all the time, and it got into a point where other people had gotten tired of her behavior, and they got sick of the way she was acting. So a lot of people just, like, stopped fucking with her, and a lot of people just stopped talking to her. And I was one of those people, because I thought she just stopped working on the show in general. But I was like, you know what? I'm not about to keep going out of this way to try to be validated by this one person that obviously don't fucking like me. So it's done. It's whatever. But I noticed, you know how to be like, people don't like it when you start treating them the way they treat you. That was one of those situations. So I was just like with my other people, just vibing and whatnot, and she asked, hey, can I look at this thing with you guys? And we were like, sure, yeah. But mind you, these other people were kind of uncomfortable with her because of all the bridges she done burned. So she was just over there with us, and I was just kind of like uncomfortable because this girl has shit talked me. She has shit talked a whole bunch of the other people over here just as well. So I'm very weary of this person. I'm very weary of this person. I don't want to be around them. I don't want to be there, but I'm trying my best to be cordial. But it was really hard for me too, because of how mean this person was. I thought I heard something outside for a minute. So moving forward later on that day, I noticed that she ended up going home early. And usually on set, they do not send you home early. Barely. No. You be there for like 12, 13, 14, 15 hours, okay? Like I said, this job ain't for the faint of heart. They sent her home early, and I noticed that I didn't know she went home early. I didn't know it was her that went home early until the next day, because there was so many people there and I just wasn't paying attention. But that same day, that AD was like, if there's somebody bothering you or somebody that is being mean to you or whatnot, don't hesitate to come and talk to us about it, and we'll handle it and we'll take care of it, and this and that and the third. And I noticed she looked at me, and I was just like, what is your problem with me? Like, okay, but do you want to fight? Like, that was something my friend used to say. But I was just like, she keep looking at me. All right. So, like I said, I noticed that she looked at me. Mind you, I already knew this woman didn't like me. And then I found out the next day from a coworker, they were like, oh yeah, she was talking about you to her. And I was just like, excuse me? And she was like, yeah, she was over here saying that you was bullying her and you was making other people turn on her or whatever. And I was like, I didn't do shit. Like, I was just giving her that same energy that she gave back to me, because I didn't like how nasty she was to me. It was making me feel some kind of way. People do not like it when you treat them the way you treat you. So after that entire situation, that girl done lied on me over here telling that lady that I am a bully when I was not bullying that girl whatsoever. She just had like this false narrative about me in her head, and that really did make her dislike me even more, because that was before like a few of the other times I mentioned within here. But like, yeah, the vibes were not there. She was not feeling me. She was not fucking with me. So fast forward to my friend was telling me about how she was rude to him, and she was starting to get together because other people were starting to call her out for being rude and whatnot. So that was that. But I noticed that when I came back to work on this show, that same AD, she recognized me because, yeah, like I said, she never learned my name, but she knew my face. She saw me and just like glanced at me and it just went back to what she was doing. And I was just like, okay, and mind you, it's not that many of us here. It's only a few of us. But she's just still not fucking with me. She's barely looking at me. She's like not giving me much direction or whatnot. So I'm like, okay, girl. Okay, Miss Girl. Girl, that's all I gotta say. Girl, what's that song, Why You Treat Me So Bad? Moral of the story, I don't even know what the moral of this shit is. I just want to get on here and tell y'all about this assistant director that just did not like me. And it was just so petty. I had some great times working on this show. There were some good days, a lot of bad days, but like this one instance right here is just something that I just can't not stop thinking about because it was just so childish and just so damn ridiculous to me. But that's just pretty much all I want to say. Yeah, like I said, I just wanted to get a story time out because a lot of y'all been wanting more story time videos, and I'm trying to make sure I'm still getting content out while I'm also feeling a bit under the weather. I'm trying my best, y'all. I'm trying. But thank y'all so much for watching. This do-rag is from my shop. These sunglasses, these are the Chloe sunglasses, and these are her mommy sunglasses, Audrey. They're matching sunglasses. You can get the do-rag and the sunglasses on my website, harryonthehook.com. Also on harryonthehook.com, I have my blog, my free blog. Yeah. Follow me on Instagram. That's like really the only social platform I'm active on now. Yeah, that's pretty much all I gotta say. Thank you guys for watching. Don't be a mean ass bitch because that's nasty. And have a good night.